everybody, it's Old School Nerd. Did you know that Nils or Niles, is it Niles or Nils? I don't know. It's one of the two. The guy from Amarith, yeah, the amazing power vocalist, yeah, the power singer. He's in a band called Dynazty. And the spelling is kind of cool. And they're on Nuclear Blast Records. They had an album came out last year, and one of the songs on there was Game of Faces. And we did a reaction to this song that we're about to check out live on Twitch. But at the time that we recorded the reaction, there were so many things going on from Nuclear Blast Records all at once, I wasn't able to get it onto YouTube. But I shared the link with everyone and I did some promotion about the band's album. But this particular video, I've seen this video before. It's an amazing song. We're going to check it out again because one of you out there who probably wasn't here last year when we did this, Marisol is in my Council of Nerddom on Patreon. And the members of my Council of Patreon get to request any reaction they want, no matter what it is. Marisol picked this one, which is awesome because I want to enjoy this again. I do enjoy Niles' project outside of Amarith. This is called Dynazty. This one, of course, is called Game of Faces. I have seen this, but it's been a year, so I'm going to enjoy this a lot. And we're going to post it on Patreon, and we'll probably put it on the YouTube channel, on the YouTube Live. And yeah, it's great. But I'm glad she picked this one because if anyone missed that album last year, it was incredible. This is Dynazty, Game of Faces.
So inherently fatal. Who am I? Who are you? To be so fatal. Sanity intrinsically gets caught in the middle. Under the mask is another face. Twisted and truth is the answer you chase. Deep in duality, two-faced and two-seductive. Lie with morality, and you'll soon be corrupted. Don't dream of fairy tales, it will lead to pain. Don't wish for miracles, it is all in vain. Emphatically, it play for the ages. What is right? What is wrong? Safe definition. Venomous and treacherous, a waste of ambition. Now I spy a lie with my little eye. Not instinct of truth, but still undenied. Deep in duality, two-faced and two-seductive. Lie with morality, and you'll soon be corrupted. Don't dream of fairy tales, it will lead to pain. Don't wish for miracles, it is all in vain. Don't ever fall in love with love again. Don't dream of fairy tales, they fall into pain. Don't wish for miracles, it is all in vain. Come play the game of faces once again. Deep in duality, two-faced and two-seductive. Lie with morality, and you'll soon be corrupted. Don't ever dream in a fairy tales. Don't ever show what's such a face in me. Don't ever play so carelessly with pain. Don't ever fall in love with love again.
I think one of my favorite things about metal these days And let me say this because it's very important. We live in a time of metal creativity that has not existed in previous times. And I know that metal is making a comeback in popular music, which is causing more and more problems with copyright and influence from major record labels that was kind of gone. Major record labels, like major record labels, were kind of ignoring metal for the most part for the last 10, 15 years. And they were focused on, country and pop and hip hop, and metal was kind of under the radar for a while, which kind of gave us a metal renaissance where bands were able to be super creative around 2015. And then through that, all the way up to COVID, bands were creating, bands were completely different than they were when I was growing up. When I was growing up in the 80s, all bands were alike. And bands were signed to a label, and that label was very, very controlling. And there wasn't a lot of creativity. Granted, artists were making their music, but labels had a lot of control because they controlled the industry and how music got out. If you didn't do what the label wanted you to do, your music wasn't getting released. Well, now with YouTube, music can be released independently too. So record labels are like, well, if we want the best bands, we have to give some creative freedom. And then there's another aspect. Now we're starting to see bands being signed by major record labels again out of the United States. And we're starting to see some of their creativity start to come down a little bit because they're being more commercially pushed, which is sad. But at the same time, a lot of these mid-major metal labels like Nuclear Blast and others still have the desire to let artists create art. And that's good because Nils back in the 80s wouldn't be able to do this. Dynazty wouldn't exist. He'd have to be in Amareth and only in Amareth. But we know that that's not the case because if you look around, the drummer from Amareth is in a band called The Dark Side of the Moon as a side project. You see all these other artists and collaborations. Here's my favorite part. Nuclear Blast has Amareth. Okay. Niles is in Dynazty on Nuclear Blast. Okay. And then the drummer from Amareth is on a project that's on Napalm Records. Could you imagine that happening in the 80s? And also bands from different labels going on tour together. That didn't happen back in the 80s. There was so much rivalry and everything else. So not only it's really an amazing time because you have metal can come from any country, any culture, any gender, any style, any backstory, genre. What the hell's a genre? Metal music can be literally anything these days. There's so many different styles, right? And to say that now that there's a freedom, a creative freedom where anyone, if you're good, you can get your music out there. And I think it's a wonderful time to be there. And this is just one of those other examples where when you see Nils outside of Amareth being able to create something else that's different and unique for him, that tells us that we're still in that metal renaissance where artists can do various projects and bring various different works and different styles. And we just get to enjoy all of it. So for Marisol bringing this for me to check out is awesome because I do remember this song from last year. We did a reaction live on Twitch like we're doing here. But it just reminds me again that we are in that time where metal bands, especially if they're working with a label like Nuclear Blast and others, they really get to create something unique. And the options and possibilities are close to limitless. And we get to enjoy it. So that's kind of awesome. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. To Marisol, thank you so much for this request in the council. It is amazing. That's why we love it. And with that, we'll see you later. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you enjoyed this video, give us a like. It really helps the channel grow. Also, if you want to subscribe, right over there. A big thank you to all my Patreons out there for everything you do. And if you want more content like this, check them out above. Remember, love one another, take care of each other. We're all stuck on this mud ball together. We'll see you later.